All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. We want to start right on time and honor your precious time. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. I am going to just explain a few quick things. If you're just joining us, my video is not working. I'm not hiding, and I'm very, very sorry. We're going to go ahead and keep all of our lines clear so that we can hear Janalei really well. And anyway, just thank you guys for joining us. Use the chat box if you're new to Zoom. If you go to the very bottom of the screen where it says chat, you can just start chatting away and you can ask questions. I will be watching the chat box the whole time. So if there's any questions that you guys have for Janalei as she is sharing her story, we'd love to hear from you guys, and we'll make sure we get those questions answered. And then just so you guys know, this will be recorded. It's already recording. And it'll be posted on YouTube, and Janalei and Nicole and everybody else will get links to the video. Awesome. Okay, so this is my favorite time. I get to brag about Janalei for 2 seconds here. And in the chat box, how many of you know Janalei personally? Like, you've met her, maybe you've heard her sing, because she has a gorgeous voice. But I'm just going to share a few things that maybe you don't know about her. She is a board-certified critical care acute care nurse practitioner, MSN. In Isogenic, she's a 2-star Golden Circle executive. And that is why we have her on the call tonight, guys, because every single one of you are racing for the Rapid Reset Crystal Director and then on to executive. And hi, girls. Thank you for joining us. And we want to show you how we're doing it and how other people have gone before and done it. Janalei is a very, very, very busy mom, guys. She works full time. She is never like sitting around. This woman is always on the go, and she was able to hit Crystal Executive. And so I'm so excited for her to share her story tonight and tell you guys how she did it. She is a former professional stage performer, and guys, we've heard her sing. It is gorgeous. I asked her to sing tonight. We'll see if she
I didn't practice at all.
Oh, beautiful. Well, we'll see if she does it or not. But she currently resides in Arizona, but like all Texans that are ever lived there, Texas is always her home, right? She's a mom of 3 boys who are the joy to her life. She's so passionate about human connections and relationships, family, outdoors, her horses, and her 2 English Mastiffs. I already told you guys she enjoys singing, music, traveling, but she also loves running and any outdoor activity and spending time with people. And then let's see, you just started sharing like 10 months ago, right, Janalei? Like
Yeah, it's been less than a year.
Oh my goodness. And yet you won the championship cruise in 2018, and you were in the top leadership pools for 2017, or you were the top leadership pool earner in 2017. That is awesome, guys.
I was part of it. Yeah, number 4 or something like that.
Yeah, so awesome. Okay, guys. So I know you're ready to hear her story. She is here to share her story. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her, and luckily her video is working. So go for it.
Yeah, my video is working. I can't see. Well, I think it's working. Can you see me?
Yep, you look gorgeous. We can see you.
Thanks. Okay, I can only see me in a little thing up here. I can't see myself big, so I hope I'm in the screen. So yeah, thanks, Trisha. I'm excited to be asked to do this because, oh my gosh, to be in the company of the women that are speaking in One Team University is just the caliber of those women and how successful they are. I didn't know. I'm just proud to be considered amongst one of them. I don't quite feel myself that I'm up to that level yet, but I'm going to get there, and so are all of you. So a little bit about my story. I was always a pretty healthy person until a couple of years ago when I was slapped in the face with autoimmune disorder. A lot of you and a lot of people we help have issues with thyroid, but that's what I was dealing with, and just was exhausted and gaining weight at a rate that was unfathomable. And so I was desperate. I had tried everything. I got online on Facebook one day, and I was just kind of Googling, well, I was Googling first, what's going to help with this weight loss? I've already tried this, that, and the other thing. And isogenics kept coming up and up and up. And so I'm like, okay. And like most other people, you want to try to get a good deal, right? I'm super cheap. If I can get something secondhand or at a discount or Goodwill, I'll definitely do that. So I was on Facebook in the marketplace looking for isogenics. And there were a couple of other people selling it for whatever reason. They wanted to get rid of it or they weren't using it anymore. And so I inquired about some of it in one of those posts. And probably I'd say, I don't know, a few hours later, I get this message from a lady named Nicole Hammondtree. And she's like, hey, I noticed you were looking for isogenics. What can I do to help you? Tell me about what's going on. You know, I have a lot of information. And she just started a conversation with me and reached out in that way. So she ended up giving me a couple of samples, and almost instantly I started feeling better. So like, what do you recommend? Tell me what to do. I'll do it. And so value pack, I signed up with the value pack, and the rest is history. But so I dropped probably about 40 pounds in just a few months, which was not as much as I had gained previously. But it's still coming off. So we're still working on that. But she kept asking me, you know, are people noticing? Well, how can they not notice 40 pounds? Yes, I'm not interested in selling. I have a good job. I make a good income. Don't talk to me about all that. She put me in her business page, and I think I probably took myself out like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, stop putting me in your business page. I do not want to sell anything. I don't want to talk to anybody about this. I just want to do me. I just want to feel better. Leave me alone. So anyway, friends started asking, right? They always do. And she's like, you know what? Let's just let them know what's possible, because can you imagine, right? The famous phrase, can you imagine if somebody had not told you, if I had not reached out to you about isogenics, if you had not lost the weight that you had lost, if you had not been feel better, you know, can you imagine if that hadn't happened? So I'm like, okay, she put it in that sense. And I did my first post, I think it was April or May of last year. And I don't know, hundreds of people responded. So that kind of kicked off the whole building process. And she's been an amazing leader and helped me grow ever since. So just a little bit more about me. Yes, I'm a nurse practitioner. I work crazy, stupid hours. I mean, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning every morning. I have 3 boys, young boys. And of course, my husband, I've got animals. I've got, you name it. If it can take up your time, I have it. So the thought of starting another business at that time was nowhere near me. Sorry, so I'm looking at the group chat. So the first post in the Dare page was the I pooped today. That was a big deal for me, y'all. I had a super slow gut because of some of the medications that I was on. And so one of my first posts in our product page had this big, you know, emoji dude that said, I pooped today. And it was, oh, it was? No, maybe it was. I don't know. But it was a big deal for me because, you know, chronic constipation is a huge issue for a lot of people. So anyway, I was really excited about it, and I'm not shy at all. So I was telling everybody, I'm like, hey, do you need to have a bowel movement? I can help you. But anyway, so anyway, starting another business was not appealing to me. I was just extremely busy. But when people started asking after that post, after my first couple of posts, I started making money, like, you know, $300 here, $600 here. And I make a really good salary as a nurse practitioner. but I don't make $300 an hour. And so the thought of being able to do that was intriguing. And I wasn't trying to get rich. I wasn't trying to be a millionaire, or, I didn't even know what executive meant at the time. I was just like, hey, I can pay off some student loans. I can pay off my car. I started getting my products for free. I started getting my Suburban payment made. I started, half of my mortgage, then all of my mortgage. And it just started building. So I was like, all right, I'm ready for executive, and started running with it. Yeah. So, right, Nicole, it's super important to remind your people to stay active, because I cycled 8 times when I first decided to share. So anyway, that's a little bit about how I got started. But like I said, I'm a nurse practitioner, and I love what I do. I'm a healer, and I love helping people. And so this was sort of right along my alley. But that job has a glass ceiling, y'all. You probably, unless you want to work all the time, you've got a max income of maybe $250,000. And I don't want to work all the time. I like, 3 days a week is good for me. I'm good with that. So it is a passion of mine to help people, but I think the bigger passion is that I want my time and my financial freedom. And as the kids grow older, it's becoming more important to me. So that's why I am trying to run with Isogenics. So anyway, I want to just point out a couple of things that I think helped me, a couple of points to touch on that helped guide me along the way, and that were ingrained into me as I started building, and as I started listening to all of these leaders that were where I wanted to be. Because, right, you don't listen to people you don't want to trade places with. So there's your first lesson of the day. Listen to people who have what you want, or who are where you want to be. The very first thing I would say that is super, super important is that you're going to need to get okay with becoming uncomfortable. Yes, I was a stage performer. It's what I knew. That's how I put myself through college. I was comfortable doing that. So that wasn't uncomfortable being in front of crowds. But this, for example, is, I'm not an expert yet on Isogenics. So there are some nerves involved with speaking in front of, tens, hundreds of people on something that you're not an expert on. So is this uncomfortable for me? A little bit. Am I doing it anyway? Absolutely. Because you don't get to where you want to be if you're not going to do what it takes to get there. And oh my gosh, to follow Lauren and Lindsay, can you imagine how nerve-wracking? I'm like, what am I going to say after these ladies? They had just told you what you need to know. And so, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but I'm doing it anyway. You have to, one of my mottos just for myself, and it may or may not work for you, but I say yes and then I think about it later, because I have a tendency, you may be like this, but I have a tendency to talk myself out of things sometimes. If I think about it too long, I can always think of a reason not to do it. I can think of an excuse, or, I don't have time, I'm too busy, or whatnot. So I say yes and think later. Ready, shoot, aim, if you've heard that before. So there were a million reasons why I shouldn't be on this call. It's uncomfortable for me. I didn't have time to come up with something to tell you guys that I thought would be of value to you. I work all day. I'm leaving on a cruise tomorrow. I could have said no, but is anyone on my team going to be a leader and host calls and teach other people if they don't see me doing it? The answer is no. So I'm doing it. I said yes, and I'll figure out how to get it done later. And I did. You figure out a way. I think a lot of people, a lot of business women, a lot of strong people who have a lot to do, you just figure it out. So if someone gives you the opportunity to teach, to speak, to learn, to grow, to get uncomfortable, say yes and think about it later. You figure it out. So sorry, I've got one of my sons over there, and he's over there like, we do real life, right? Anyway, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to get uncomfortable, and the discomfort that you feel is a stepping stone to growth. I used, thanks, Trisha. One of the analogies that I used previously, I think it was on one of my lives for the fear post for the Whisper campaign, was that just like you use your muscles, if you want them to grow, it's going to be uncomfortable. You need to stretch them and do something that you don't normally do, and use them in ways that you don't normally use them. And that's how they grow. And so it's the same thing with your mind and your spirit and your soul and your leadership. All of that is going to require you to do stuff that you don't normally do. So another thing that I just want to point out is for all of the leaders here, and I don't know if anyone saw Peta Kelly's speech at the last event, but one of her big take homes was that make sure you're living the dream that you want to live, the life that you want to live. If you're fine being a 2-star executive, that's great. Don't let anybody tell you that that's not good enough or that you need to go to 3-star. If that's what you want, go for it and do it. Because at the end of the day, you have to answer to yourself. So do what you want to do. But remember to give yourself some grace as you're doing it. But another important lesson in that as leaders is to ask your team what they want. I have people who, and I'm sure everybody else does too, if you're dragging them along, you're tagging them in posts, you're texting them, you're calling them, you're spending all of this time on people who you think might want it, but you want it really bad for them, but you're not getting any response out of them. You're wasting your time. You need to go find people who want it. You need to find people who are looking for you. So ask your team what they want, so you're not wasting time on the people who are not ready to run. Ask them what their goals are so that you can help them achieve them, because when you're coming from a place of service and you're helping other people reach their goals, it only helps you reach yours that much quicker. So you're going to be doing a lot of work if you don't do that right off the bat, and if you don't do it periodically, because some people aren't ready to build right away. I wasn't. Nicole, she would ask me, she would back off. A couple months later, she would ask me, and then, I was ready. There was a point when I was ready. But if she had wasted her time on me those first 4 months, she could have missed someone that was ready to run. So just be cognizant of what your team's goals are and if they really want it and who you're going to spend your time on. Because your time is important. Your time is money. Your time is precious. And we're all looking for that time freedom, the financial freedom. So you need to pay attention to where your time is going. So yes, we value our time a lot. Did anyone take statistics class in college or high school? Yeah, hated it. I know, me too. So there's this theory of probability, right? Or the law of probability, that basically states the bigger sample size you have of whatever you're looking for, the more, a couple times, the better chances you have of actually obtaining what you're looking for, right? So I use this analogy with my team a lot when we talk about building, because it's like which color car gets the most tickets on the road? Do you know? Trisha says red. Anyone else have a guess? Jody says red. It's actually white. Do you know why? Because we have a bigger sample size. There's more white cars on the road. More white cars get tickets. But yeah, right? I know. Everyone says red. But the correlation is the more of a certain thing you have, the more likely you're going to get what you're looking for out of that sample. So this is where I talk to my team about building and enrolling. The more people you enroll, the more likely you're going to find people or find that one, even that one or that two that are going to want to build. You can't rank advance someone that you haven't enrolled, right? So that's, and I know Lindsay touched on it as far as how many people you want to enroll and you want to get those people rank advanced, but you can't rank advance anybody that's not there. So enrolling fast, enrolling a lot, the 20 and 30, that's really what you're going to want to start doing. And you're going to start hearing that success loves speed. So you've got to enroll and then you've got to start rank advancing. So where are you going to find all of these people to enroll? A lot of you have already started. I'm not sure of the mix of people here. Are there a lot of people who have 10, 20, 30, hundreds of enrollments? I'm not sure exactly. But last year, I enrolled probably over 100 people for our team from May to December. And that's how I was able to get to executive. It was just one after another after another. That's how I won the cruise that we're going on tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to get spray tans. My husband is going to get one too. He has like this tan head and he has the biggest farmer's tan, y'all. Oh, I'm like, you need a tan. You need a spray tan. So I'm making him get one. But anyway, okay. So where do you find these people? You need to get out of your house, first of all. You know, it's network marketing. Your only network cannot be behind a computer, behind a desk. You have to get out and you have to meet people and you have to interact and you have to get belly to belly. You have to work on your cold and your warm market. Does everybody here, Danny did? That's awesome. Does everybody here work outside the home or do we have stay-at-home people? Anyone? Stay at home? Oh, sweet. I love that. You guys are so awesome. That's good. Okay. So what do you do when you stay at home? Do you just sit behind your computer for 8 hours a day? Yeah, you work out. You go to the gym. That's where you're meeting people. If you have kids, you're going to, mom's day out, play dates. Exactly. So there's a ton of, you've got to get creative. You go to work, you've got children's activities, they've got games, they've got school, you go to the grocery store, you're at Starbucks. One of the things I really love about Nicole, I'm going to stay close to my phone, Mom. Okay. One of the things that Nicole has taught me is that when you're working on your computer, go sit somewhere, go to a coffee shop, go somewhere that people can see you and you have your little isogenics thing here and you're talking on the phone. And you're more, like I said, you're more likely to meet someone outside of your house than in your house. Just that whole law of probability. Put yourself where you need to be. Gym, park, online. You've got the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Ask y'all, one of the best things I ever did is ask my friends and family to post for me. I had them all post power posts for me. And what they would say, I actually wrote it for them. They loved me, so they did it. Hey, my sister or my friend, y'all check this out. She just lost 40 pounds in 4 months. I'm doing what she's doing. Does anybody want to join me? So you're not only getting your network, but you're getting their network and their network and their network and their network. Okay. You've got to think outside the box and just branch. You've got to reach more people. Another thing is like what Nicole did for me. Look for other people's weight loss posts. You guys are all on Facebook. The marketplace is an amazing resource. There's always people looking for weight loss, looking for health, looking for fitness stuff. And they probably have 10 to 20 inquiries down there. Reach out. Hey, I noticed you were looking for this. If it doesn't work out, consider me because I have this, that, and the other solution. And another thing is you always have to ask for referrals. I know you look amazing and you're probably not interested in what I have, but who do you know that would be? I know you know someone that needs to lose weight or that needs better sleep. Ask for the referral or think of me. I send out, I don't know how many messages I send out to doctors, to friends. Hey, to cardiologists especially. I've got a lot of cardiologists. Reverse prospecting, that's right. Would you consider sending your patients to me if they want a non-pharmacological way to lose weight? Because that's one of the main cardiology patients' issues. Sorry, Cooper, hold on, baby, I'm almost done. So, sorry, I got sidetracked. I'm momming tonight too. So ask for referrals. And again, get uncomfortable. What's the worst they could say? No. Okay, next. You move on. Not a big deal. You've got to, I mean, it's not even getting thick skin because who cares what they think, really? So tell everyone that whole law of probability. The more people that know what you're about, the more people are likely to come to you. Was it yesterday? I had one person that I had a conversation with months ago, completely unrelated to nutrition. It was actually about some kid stuff. But she sent me a Facebook message that said, da 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 da. Oh, and by the way, I feel like crap. I noticed the isogenic sticker on your car. Tell me what I need to do. And I enrolled her today. Value pack. So people need to know if you're not telling them, if they don't know that you have a solution, then they don't know to come to you. I always bring extra. I have samples everywhere. And some people, you're going to get mixed feelings about that. Some people don't like to hand out samples, some do, but I'll tell you, I work in a hospital and I'm handing out e-shots like a mad person because everybody there needs energy. And I've enrolled a ton of people who, yes, I do. I have a box in my purse. I just hand them out because they're amazing, right? And I just sit here and sip on them and they're like, what is that? Kids games. Yes, I'll bring you some. Kids games. Make the whey thins and a little bottle of water tied to an amped hydrate, their snack at the end of the game, right? Tell everyone and bring extra. If you don't have business cards, you need business cards and you need to carry them with you and you need to hand them out. Door hangers. Make your kids, make your husband, make your friends go door to door and put this stuff on people's porch. I have the, where is it? I brought this in here. I have this on my front porch. It's so dusty, y'all. I live on a dirt road, sorry. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it, but I made these 3x5, or I don't even know what size they are. Can you see them? Cards. and it's got my picture and call for a free gift and everything I can do for you. And then it's got all of my contact information. I put that here with my business cards on my front porch. And do you know how many people come to my front door every day? Amazon's here like 5 times a day. People are taking these all the time. Do they call? Sometimes, sometimes not. But they're definitely not going to call if they don't have my number, right? So just get used to telling people about it. Event swag. You guys have PTO friends or people are always looking for donations. Make a basket, put your card in there, put your information in there, and write it off. Write it off as a gift. Teacher's gift, raffles, auctions, you name it. Host parties. That's one of the things that we're really getting big into this season or this year. We started, actually, most of us have been moving. So once we get our houses in order, we're going to be having more parties. But if you're not hosting parties, you need to be taking people to parties, because that's where they can really see what the benefits are. They can taste the products and they really feel the energy that's surrounded by all of these people who are so passionate about the solutions we have. One of the things that I'm going to be starting is a Margarita Monday. If you have not, I mean, a lot of you don't drink. Nice. But a lot of you might. And I like martini from time to time. I will put lemon lime with some vodka, with some rum, and my girlfriends are going to come over. We're going to start a Margarita Monday with the Amped Hydrate. So just get creative, whatever fits your lifestyle and your kind of vibe. You got to make it work for you. Another thing that I like to do is I change my banners on social media almost monthly, depending on what campaign we're having. So for example, whenever the mocha was coming out, I changed all of my banners on all of my social media, and you can download apps to make these different banners to mocha and to what you can make with mocha, the little popsicles and the mocha shakes and the coffee and whatnot. And it kind of gets people's mouths watering and people ask about it. What is this all about? So that's just another way to get it out there and to show people what you're all about and show them the possibility of what you have. Stay consistent. You're going to have to, based on the algorithms of all of the social media, you're going to have to stay consistent. You're going to have to post several times a day. How many, for you all who do a lot of posting, how many times do you post a day on Facebook? 2 to 3. So anyone else? There's varying opinions. I know, Marcia. I know, Marcia. We'll get you there. Melinda says 2 to 3. Not enough. So Jody, the question was, how many times are you posting on social media each day per like Facebook or Instagram? So you definitely want to stay consistent and you want to stay up in people's feeds and you want to have interactive posts where people are commenting, because that boosts your post up to where more people see it as they're coming on. There are different times that are better for posting. You want to get it before people are going to work, as they're scrolling, getting ready for work. Lunchtime, more people are online. It's all about numbers, y'all. The more people online, the more people are going to see your post. So you want to do it whenever you think the most people are going to see it. Yeah, Instagram, we'll talk about that. So early morning, and just be cognizant of your time zone too. I have people all across the country, actually the world. And so, if you're targeting certain people in certain time zones, you have to be aware of what time you're posting. So early morning, lunchtime, in the evening. Days to post, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday are usually the best. Friday nights, apparently people don't go out on Friday nights much anymore, because I get a lot of traction on Friday nights too. Master one social media, and when you have it mastered, then add another. Yeah, I think that's good. You can't do too many things at once. Saturday night, Trisha says Saturday night is a good one for her. So again, you're going to find what works for you, but you have to you've got to stay consistent posting. We're about to go on this cruise. There are different apps you can use, different websites you can use that will actually post for you. You can do them in advance and it'll post to your pages for you. Tiny Torch is the one that I like to use. Does anyone use another one? Buffer? No? Tiny Torch. Yeah, Tiny Torch is the big one. And you can plan and you can schedule out the posts. So if you see someone else's post that you love, save it, copy and paste it to Tiny Torch to post at a later time. Change it to look, or to be more specific to you, to be more personalized. But copying and pasting to Tiny Torch has saved me many times. And y'all, we work with amazing, amazing people, creative people. And so if you see something that you like, copy and paste it. Give credit where credit is due, but definitely make sure that you're changing it to be specific to your own story, okay? Let's see, you can only schedule a certain amount of posts per day. I think it's 5. Okay, I didn't know that. I think I have, you can purchase like upgrades for all of those apps. So in addition to staying consistent and everything else that we talked about, just so you know, Facebook was easier on your cruise in December. Okay, so they gave us Wi-Fi on the cruise, so we will still be connected, but I don't know about anybody else. I don't want to work while I'm on the cruise, so I just did a bunch of Tiny Torch posts. You're going to want to reproduce efficiently and effectively, and one of the ways that you're going to do that is by time blocking. And if you watch Fast Track to Executive, or if you were there, Trisha had an amazing section on time blocking and working in the pockets of your life. If you don't have anything else to do but work on isogenics, consider yourself blessed and make use wisely of your time. But a lot of us get lost in the scroll hole. You sit there and you're like, you have really good intentions and you get online, but then you start scrolling and then you chase a squirrel and then you like somebody else's kids post and whatever. So be intentional. And one of the other gals that taught at Fast Track to Executive set a timer. So for an hour or for however long, she could scroll and she could just do the mindless Facebooking or social media, whatever, and then it was time to get to work. So you've got to be intentional about that. But to be reproducible, people need bite-sized chunks. So that's why we're doing, One Team University in 1 hour sections, because a lot of people don't have a lot of time and attention. So 1 hour teacher teams every single week, 1 hour online, even if they don't show up. I've had meetings where no one showed up, and that's okay. They need to know you're going to be there whenever they're ready. Is anyone using, yeah, you too, Trisha. Is anyone using Evernote? So we have a ton of information, reproducible information on Evernote that you can send people, that you can use as a reference. If you're not using it, yeah, I know Trisha is, you need to be. I send every one of my enrollees a welcome email. And it's similar to what you get with Evernote. It's got their username and password, all of the videos they need, the shake day, the cleanse day, you share, they share. It's got IsaBody Challenge, Healthy Mind and Body links. And I also have everything that they need as far as customer service. It's got the will call address. It's got customer service telephone number. So you can reference them back to the email I sent you. If they're calling you, asking you all these questions, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Let's go back to the email that I sent you because all of the information is right there. If you're not using ISA tools, you need to be. It's not a very big expense. Again, you can write it off, but ISA tools is so helpful and easy and convenient, and you can send people all of this information that they need, a video. Some people are visual learners. You can send them everything they need by just a few clicks from your phone, and then make sure you follow up with them. Marco Polo is one of, daily, one of my favorite tools to use for reproducing and getting people information in an efficient manner. Is everyone doing the 3x3x3 or 5x5x5? The 5 new, okay, Trisha. The 5 new touches, 5 follow-ups, and 5 Lebanon peoples. So I use Marco Polo when I'm driving to work every single morning. Did you know you can forward messages on Marco Polo? Anyone? So what I'll do is I will send somebody a follow-up inquiry. Hey, just wanted to check on you. How are things going? I'm free tonight. Let's set up a call, whatever. And I can forward that to 4 more people. That just saved me 20 minutes or 10, but it saves some time. You can do that with all of your messages. I make videos on Marco Polo, and I send everybody that I enroll. Everybody gets on Marco Polo. They don't have a choice. I say, here, one of my next steps in my welcome email is download this app for your phone, because they will get a shake day video, a cleanse day video. They get videos on IsaBody Challenge and Healthy Mind and Body. And they also get a video on how to maneuver their back office. And there's no excuse now, because you always have your phone. And if you have this app downloaded, you can go in and you can see how to order something, how to enroll somebody, how to do whatever you need to do. Does that mean I'm not here for questions? Absolutely not. But I work full time. And if I'm not available, and if Nicole's not available, because a lot of my people will go to her if I'm not, they have that resource, and I make sure that they have it there. And they can send it to their people and their people and their people. So that's a reproducible act that you can use. So Instagram, we touched on that just a little bit. But one thing I found was helpful is sending people back and forth between your Facebook and your Instagram. That keeps people engaged. If you have a story that they're following, send people to your other social media site for a recipe or the outcome of the story, whatever. If you post this amazing meal. So okay. So for example, if I post this like phenomenal dinner on Instagram, I would say, check out my Facebook page for the recipe, and they would have to go over there. Or if I post something on Facebook, like, what do you think's going to happen? Just a random picture, like, guess what I would send them to my Instagram or my Instagram stories to get the rest of the story. So you're kind of sending them back and forth. I wouldn't do that all the time because people are going to be like, whatever. But there are times when I've got people going back and forth, and it's a nice way to keep them engaged. I haven't used Twitter a whole lot. Does anybody use Twitter? Trisha, you use Twitter? Do you post every day just like everything else? Do you cross post there? Okay. Go away. My husband's back there making faces. Okay. Anyway, real life. So let's see what else. Reading books is a big one. Y'all are going to have to grow. You have to get to events. Don't comb your tree, reach out to your downline 3 and 4 PET. A lot of the people on here are not my personally enrolled. Hi, Shane. Hey, Emily. Marsha, for example, I'm calling her out because she's right at the top of my screen. But she's not my personally enrolled. She's one of my 2 or 3 PET. So make sure you're reaching out, because there's a lot of times you're individually or you're personally enrolled are not going to be interested necessarily in doing all of the training that you're doing. But your 2 and 3 and 4 and a million PET are important to you building your business. So there's Marsha. So just make sure that you're going through your back office. Make sure you know how to go through your back office and find everybody that's enrolled under you. Reach out to them. Everybody that is enrolled under me has my phone number. I friend them on Facebook. I text them. They're all on my Marco Polo. I have set up different groups. I know Trisha does the same. We have a mom's group on Marco Polo. We have a 20-something. We've got, weight loss groups on Marco Polo. They can interact with each other and, really help one another. So I guess, my final thought would be, don't try to reinvent the wheel unless you're sure you could make it better, because we have so many amazing leaders who have gone there before us, and they lay everything out. Nothing is a secret. They will share everything with you to build, thank you, Marsha, to build your business. And they're so open and they're so willing to help that you really don't have to do a whole lot. Just do what they do. They've already laid the path. So now I would like to open the floor for questions. Does anyone have any questions for me?
So many takeaways, Janalei. I'm loving it, girl.
I wish I could see you. I like your picture, though.
It makes me laugh. Brings back memories. So, guys, Janalei's here for you. Like, if you have questions, speak up now. You can either do it in the chat box or just unmute your line.
Go through and see who all is on here.
Mm-hmm. So good. And again, guys, I am posting a picture of Janalei on my Facebook wall just to thank her for, sacrificing her night to be with us, and her kids, I know, are dancing around and trying to get her attention. So I just love you, Janalei, for doing this. Please go to my Facebook wall, guys, and just, share your takeaways, what you learned from Janalei, what you're going to apply. And that's the big thing. I know that Janalei wants everybody to do is actually put into action the things that she's given you tonight.
Absolutely. And otherwise it's useless.
Yep.
Let's see what Joy has a question. I struggle because hardly anybody comes up to me to ask what I'm doing because I don't really look that different. So I can tell you that, well, I guess my opinion would be, if you feel different, then that's what you need to focus on telling people about. You gotta you gotta dig deep and just explore your story. What are you trying to help people with? If it's weight loss, focus on that. If it's feeling better, focus on that. But we all know that skinny does not equal healthy. And so if you have those non-scale victories, the better sleep, the energy is massive. Everybody needs that. All of those non-scale victories, I would focus on sharing with people. If you feel like you don't have a big physical transformation, then I would maybe focus on some of the other aspects that Isagenix has helped you with. Power post suggestions would be like, yeah, if your gut health has improved, like the I pooped today post, or if you just had the best night's sleep of your life, talk about that. If you have energy now to do the things that you enjoy doing, is that your little baby on your lap? If you have more energy to spend with him and you're not parenting from the couch anymore, Emily Barclay is on here and she has amazing power posts because she didn't have weight to lose. She's in here for the nutrition and for the energy. And she does power posts of herself like doing cartwheels with her kids. Who does that? No one has energy to do that. She does now. And so that's kind of what she focuses on. So you got to figure out, what your purpose is and what you're trying to share with people. And I think if you share from the heart and you share about all of the benefits that you have received from Isagenix, those are your power posts. It's not necessarily about a massive physical transformation, but really the internal transformation. I hope that helps. How you stopped feeling sick. Yeah. So again, and I don't know your specific story, and Trisha is amazing at just coming out and speaking from the heart. And yeah, so just be specific. It's probably going to be real and raw and a little scary for you, but you have to tell your story. That's how people are going to know. Own your wisdom and share it. I think, are you talking to Joy or to me? I think to Joy.
To Joy. Well, she's a nutritionist and she looks phenomenal, and
yeah,
just letting her know, like, you got to own what you've been through, your experience and your knowledge, and just start sharing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Each one of us here has an amazing story to tell, and we know how well these products have helped us and the potential that they have to help other people. And again, if we're not sharing that, even if it's just I'm no longer nauseated post, or I'm not gassy anymore post, you'd be surprised how many people need that specific help. So staying consistent and just sharing what you know to be true is going to be very helpful. Who else? Anyone else?
Emily, did you have a question or a thought you wanted to share?
My best gain was hormone balance. Yes. So she's so amazing at that aspect. If you need help with power posts from a mom perspective and not necessarily a weight loss, I would go and friend Emily Barclay and follow her because she has amazing power posts about, her 3 kids, and they're young. They're little kids. I've known Emily for many years. We go way back. But she's busy, and I love her. I think one of her most recent posts was her hair up like this, and she's dry shampooing it in the parking lot of Walmart because she has 3 parties to go to, and all these kids' activities and whatnot. And I mean, it's amazing. It's so hilarious. Her posts are so funny, right? But it reaches people. It's so real. And it's like, how do you have the energy to do this? And she's picking up her kids in the pickup line, and they're sitting there drinking their shakes, and she's showing how to mix them in the pickup line. And so you just got to do real life. You got to do what you know, and people are going to notice. They're watching. You're inspiring people even though they don't say you are. They're watching. You might not get any likes, you might not get any comments, but people are watching and they see you, and one day they will reach out. So just stay consistent. Anybody else? It's almost 7:30.
Yeah. No, that was so wonderful. Janalei, why don't you just close us out? Any last thoughts of, these girls that are all running to director and Crystal executive?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I will say, the old adage that you only fail if you give up. If you continue to do what everybody who has been successful in this business is telling you to do, you are going to be successful. You have to get to events. You have to share with people. You have to be open to change. You have to be open to getting uncomfortable, and to personal growth. Personal growth and development is going to be massive. And, even if you're not successful in some people's eyes as far as multimillionaire, the personal success that you will achieve for being open to all of the suggestions from these leaders is going to be massive. Like, you're going to be successful in one way or another. You'll all get to executive. It just depends on you, your own personal goals as far as any other successes that you're trying to achieve. So I hope this was valuable for you guys. Oh, thanks, Holly. I will. I'm so excited. I haven't packed a thing. Not a thing. I don't know how I'm going to fit all that stuff in one suitcase.
Oh, I'm so excited for you guys, and you have earned it. So have a lot of fun, take tons of pictures, and make sure you share them all with us.
I sure will. I will. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We love you, Janalei. Please go to my wall, guys, and give Janalei a ton of love. All right. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.